What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to hack into the 2020 Supra and actually reconfigure a lot of the electronic controls within the car. Normally you can only change a few things in the settings menu in your car, but thanks to BimmerCode, you can actually change a lot of the things that you would normally never be able to do. So all you got to do is download the app. I'll have that link down below. You can get it for Android and Apple devices. So if you have an iPhone or any sort of Android device, you can get their app, and then you'll just need a Bluetooth OBD2 adapter. I'll have this product linked from Amazon down below as well. So I already have this all set up on my Android device. I've used this for a few years with my cars, even though I have an iPhone now. But all you gotta do is download the BimmerCode app. You can see it right there. And on there, when it connects to the OBD2 adapter, you can basically go into the car and change a lot of really cool things. A few things when I bought the car I wanted to change, I can now change, which is super cool. So I'll have everything linked down below. The app's around $38, and then depending on what OBD2 adapter you go with, that ranges in cost as well. But I have all that linked down below. So all we gotta do now is plug this into the car, connect it, and we're gonna show you some fun things we're gonna change within the car, and then show you how everything performs. So then to start everything up, first thing we're going to do is take the Bluetooth adapter, plug that into the OBD2 port, which is right by the hood release, and then turn the ignition on, just one press of the start button, and there's a little button on that OBD2 adapter, hit that as well. And then I'm going to go into the BimmerCode app and hit connect, and it should connect nicely to the actual adapter. So then this screen obviously comes up with the cars. The BimmerCode app is really set up for BMWs, being the Supra is technically a BMW. We'll do that. It kind of turns the car on now. It's reading the VIN number, checking everything. And then this link that I have is the OBD Link MX Plus. This has its own free app you can download and actually do a lot of other things within the car. You can read a lot of troubleshooting codes and stuff like that and monitor the actual car. So now you're on your main screen. You can change all these different things that are green. Going into the active sound design, we can go there. It'll read the data real quick and then basically open up what we can change. I'm not exactly sure what this one does. Basically, you can deactivate the active sound design, which may be maybe speakers that play exhaust sounds if the car does that. I'm not sure if this car does that or not. But if I deactivate that, I guess that's basically what that one would do. But I'll just leave that for there for right now. And I wouldn't really recommend going into the expert mode because that is like really diving in. Unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't really do that. BimmerCode has kind of shown you everything that is really easy to do and kind of all the main ones you're going to want to change. So under air conditioning, there's a few things you can change. I'm not really looking at changing any of these, just how basically the air conditioning is going to work, the automatic air, stuff like that. So now we'll go on to one that I am really excited about. This is one of my complaints with this car and most modern cars with the engine start-stop feature. It always defaults to on. So for me, every time I get in this car, the first stop sign I get to in my neighborhood, my car always shuts off. And for a cold engine, I want the car to run, I want it to warm up, I don't want it to be shutting off when it's cold. So with that said, this function is so awesome. I have it on active. This saves the last auto start stop function. So it basically gives it a memory. So if I have this off, when I start up the car the next day, it'll stay off. So I really like how I can make it to where this will kind of default to off, because I mainly drive the car with the auto start off. Only when I'm in like bumper to bumper traffic, I will turn it on because, you know, if I'm sitting at a traffic light for 5 minutes, I want the engine off. So I'm going to keep that active. That is something I really like to have. Now head unit, this is where there's a lot of things to control. This is a lot of the electronics within the car. So under here, there's a lot of things. First off, the warning chime, you can change that. I kind of like the BMW warning chime. The mini one is all right. I don't really like that sound. The Rolls-Royce chime, you can have this sound like a Rolls-Royce. It's very graceful. It's like a nice stringed instrument doing that. And then you got the BMW i chime. So I'm going to stick with the normal BMW warning chime. I kind of like the way that one sounds. The ringtone you can change. So basically when you get a phone call inside your car, your phone will either ring like the one that you have on your phone, or you can do the defaults from BMW. So then we also have maximum volume to startup. So if you had your music blasting and you shut your car off, last thing you want to do if it's the next morning is have your music blasting or something when you get in. So I'll stick with that on 25%. Daytime running lights, you can adjust that. the volume pop-up, I guess, on the screen if you don't want that to come up like that. One thing very cool for tire pressure control, you can have it display the temperature and pressure. So that's definitely good, especially for performance driving. You want to know the temperatures of your tire. The rear view backup camera zoom. So I have that active right now. When you're in reverse with your backup camera, there's now one that comes up with a trailer hitch icon. That icon was never there before, but if you click that trailer hitch, it now gets to a more zoomed in look, kind of a top-down view. So if you're backing up to a really close curb, you can look a little bit closer to see what you're doing. So I have that active, which is very cool. Video in motion, that is if you want to watch a video on the screen. I don't really know how you do that in this car, but if you're watching a video on your actual navigation screen, you can have it to where it'll actually play when the car is moving. Most cars, that would obviously be shut off once the car is in drive. And then there's a warning at startup. So I'm going to go ahead and do not active on that one, hit OK. So I think whenever you do start this car up, there is a warning screen that comes up on the nav saying like drive safely and stuff like that. I don't need the car telling me that. Camera warning, you can adjust that as well. I'll just leave that the way it is. Night vision. And then one of the very cool things, I think I skipped over this, is the startup animation. So there are a bunch of different screens that can come up. When you first hop in this car, the navigation screen in the Supra plays a little display. And I will go ahead and play a few B-rolls of the different ones after messing with all these. You have one from Alpina, you have two different BMW ones, the BMW i. Christmas, I don't know why it's called Christmas, but that is actually just like the M one that I have selected. It basically plays an M logo. And then there's the Connected Drive 1 and 2, a Mini one, and then a Rolls-Royce one. The Rolls-Royce one actually just says BMW iConnect, so it's nothing too dramatic. But I kind of like the M one that I have it selected. It just kind of shows a road, and then the M logo pops up, which is pretty neat. And then all you're going to do once you've selected everything you want, you hit Code in the top right, hit Start Coding, and it is basically going to save all those settings. And then as it's writing the code, I'm going to go ahead and actually take you guys out of here real quick. When it recodes itself, as you're seeing on the screen, you can see it 75%, 80%. It'll restart the car right now or restart the electronics, and then you can see what the new display is for when everything restarts. So this is the display when everything comes up. You can see how it's got the M logo, which is pretty cool. But that is basically the gist of how this all works. If you do the free app, you can look at everything and technically change everything, but when you hit code, it'll tell you to buy the full app. So it's nice with BimmerCode, you can actually at least get the app, check it out, see how it works, play with the interface, and then if you actually want to start adjusting your car, you just got to buy the app. So very well worth it. I love all the functions you can do. On the actual BMWs, there's a lot more features than just the Supra, which is really cool. But that is pretty much everything in the app. And then to actually exit the app, like I said, just do that, hit disconnect, and that is back to the main menu. So now onto the OBD Link App. I'm just going to hit connect. I've already connected everything, so it should pair nice and easy. But with this connected, you can actually monitor some of the car, which is really neat. So that is all connected. You can go under Diagnostics, and if you had any check engine lights pop up in your car, you can just hit the refresh icon right there, and it'll tell you if there's anything going on in your car. If you hit dashboard, you can see a few different things within the car. You have a few things set up, and you can configure everything. You can change everything, add different gauges. So that's kind of neat. That all comes with this app, which is a free app when you have the OBD2 adapter. You can configure your car, other stuff like that. And then another thing, actually going way back to when I had a Genesis Coupe back in the day, the Torque app for Android. I don't think it's available on the Apple devices, but here you can even see even more things. And with this OBD2 adapter, I can actually go into reading all the different temperatures, pressure, stuff like that, boost gauges, and actually my intake temperatures to really see what kind of air the car is sucking in. So that is definitely pretty cool, everything that you can monitor within the car. And especially using the BimmerCode app, that is so neat to change those few items. I kind of like having that M screen display come up on my screen, even though it's a Toyota, not technically a BMW, but it's kind of fun to have the M logo come up. But especially changing the auto start stop icon for me, that is a big deal. That makes this whole thing worth it for me, just because I really hate always having to hit this button. So I like that the BimmerCode app allows me to do that. But that's basically how the app works, and you can just exit out of everything and then turn the ignition back off and unplug the OBD2 adapter. Well, there you guys go. There is a full rundown of the BimmerCode app for your cell phone. If you have Android or Apple devices, you can of course pick up the app on the App Store. And then with the OBD2 adapter, you can tie into everything and change some really cool things within the car. I love being able to change the auto start stop function because that was honestly one of the most annoying things. I really like having that system having a memory to where it doesn't always default to being on. That is kind of annoying. And changing the displays and the warning chimes and stuff like that is definitely super cool. But that is going to wrap up today's video. Once again, shout out to BimmerCode. Check out the app. Definitely get it if you have any type of BMW vehicle. It is very well worth it. For all the A90 Supra owners, very well worth it as well. But that is it, guys. Don't forget, comment on today's video. That will enter you in to win the giveaway for this month, which is a brand new free GoPro for one of you. So definitely take advantage of that. But that is it, guys. Give the video a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you all next video.